Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Prune Packers YouTube channel for today's coverage of some Prune Packer baseball. Hello, friends. Jacob and Roekel joined alongside Hugo Traverso for game 33 of this summer ball season for your Prune Packers. And Hugo, the good guys are looking for a quick three-game sweep over the Medford Rogues here at home.
Yeah, it would be a great sweep for the Packers. It would give them a lot of confidence heading into a tough road series next or this weekend, rather against Humboldt up in Arcata. It should be a good one, but that first game will be tomorrow. But a sweep here puts the Packers in the driver's seat for the rest of the season, almost guarantees them a spot in the championship series, and the series this weekend will guarantee them a spot as the hosts if they can win that series. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this game, knowing that they have a couple in the rafters.
And on the first pitch of the ball game, our camera does a 180, and our friend Hugo Traverso is going to go walk down and fix it. So that's just how things have been going this series between your Prune Packers and the Rogues. A lot of difficulties here on stream as the 0-1 from Luke Payne, the 6'4", 205-pound left-hander, misses outside, and the count runs even at 1-1. We are watching Travis Finney lead things off for the Medford Rogues. Takes the 1-1 pitch a bit upstairs for ball two in the count. Luke Payne, no decisions yet on the season, 6.07 ERA, 13 strikeouts to 11 walks on the year. Here's his 2-1 pitch. Catches the inside edge for strike two called. Travis Finney on the year hitting 311 with 13 RBIs. Has yet to leave the yard at any point in this summer ball year. 2-2 pitch fouled off the other way, and we'll give it another go. So we've mentioned that the Prune Packers have won the first two games of this series 17-3 a couple days ago, and then 10-3 yesterday night. Hugo, good to have you back, bud, as the 2-2 pitch from Payne is jammed over towards first base, fielded in the air by Cade Ladahoff for the first out of the ball game.
Great job, great awareness there from Ladahoff to get to the ball off of, what was pretty much, like you said, it was jammed. It was kind of a sawn-off pitch. Amazed his bat didn't break there. But he's definitely going to feel that in his hands for the coming innings.
With one gone, it takes us to Christopher Ortiz playing first base in the latter game of this series. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up out of play behind home. Christopher Ortiz caught game one, played third yesterday, and now is at the other corner at first base. We'll get you the defensive alignments for your Prune Packers in just one moment. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Ortiz way out in front of a good breaking ball by Payne.
You talk about that versatility. You were mentioning to me in pregame, Caden Casagrande. He's moved around a lot, and the Rogues, they lost a few players on the batting side of things, so they need that versatility.
0-2 just misses the outside black. Hideki Prather catching balls and strikes for the first and now the final game of this series after we saw Ladahoff have a great day behind the plate yesterday night. Threw out a couple runners. Both were this man up to bat, Christopher Ortiz, who lines this one into left field, dropping quickly in front of Blake Grimmer for a one-out single.
Great job there by Ortiz. Recognized Payne's pitch there, and great contact. A lot of power off of his bat. He's been doing well this year, batting 317. No homers yet, but he looks to pick one up here. And it's a homer-friendly ballpark for righties.
Certainly is. Only about 280 to straightaway left field. We saw a couple clear defense yesterday, both off of Prune Packer bats. First pitch to Marion. Misses the bottom of the zone. So Christopher Ortiz on first once more. He was caught stealing second base twice by Cade Ladahoff. We'll see if he tests the arm of the more traditional catcher, Hideki Prather. So Payne out of the stretch, fires a 1-0 pitch that's jammed into shallow left center field for another base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Rogues, who are looking to strike first in the first.
Yeah, we've seen these early game issues with Luke Payne. He just recently transferred to East Carolina University, but he has a 6.07 ERA on the year. He's struggled early on in games, given up some runs. He's a big strikeout pitcher, but not seeing that today.
As the last game was versus Lincoln exactly a week ago today. 2 1/3 innings of work, 2 earned runs. Did have the 4 strikeouts, but 5 walks really hurt him in that early outing. Cleanup man comes up to bat in Johnny Alley, heading the count 1-0 early. 17 ribbies on the year for Alley, near the top of this Rogues team. Hits this one into straightaway center field. It lands in front of Jonathan Kim. They're going to hold the runner at third, and Kim bobbles the baseball, gets all the way past him to Alex Leopard. In comes Ortiz, ending up at second base as Allie Marion to third, and the Medford Rogues strike first on an error by Jonathan Kim.
Yeah, these early game issues continuing for Payne. I mean, this is the type of stuff that Joey Gomes looks to cut out with his pitchers. And the starters, when they struggle, they normally have a very good offensive attack to back them up, but don't want to let this thing get a little bit too far ahead early on.
The Rogues struck first in game one of the series, but that didn't come until the fourth inning. So they're on the board early, 1-0. Just one out, two in scoring position for Caden Casagrande. Takes a good breaking ball for strike one called. Casagrande has played in the field, he's pitched, and now he's catching for the third game of the series. Hugo, you mentioned his versatility, certainly on full display in this 3-game split.
And he stands out on this team. He's from Eagle, Idaho.
And he wins and misses through the 0-1. And Luke Payne ahead in the count 0-2 for the first time in this early ball game. Could really use the put away pitch here to hold the runners where they are and get the second out of this inning. A lefty comes set and fires an 0-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says the base umpire, now standing at second. That one was pretty close to the top of the zone as well, so a couple breaks for Casagrande. He's going to live to see at least one more here from Payne.
Yeah, Luke Payne, he has that signature Tennessee clutchness in his veins. We saw a lot of Tennessee pitchers get taken in the draft this year.
1-2, hit hard up the middle, gets through for a base hit. 1 run in. Around third is Johnny Alley, but he'll hold up there. 1 out RBI single for Casagrande. Rogues on top, 2-0.
Not an ideal start here for the Packers, but they've seen this before, and they'll be able to bounce back. We'll see how they bounce back in the bottom of the first, but if I had to guess, it won't come until maybe the second, third inning. They normally take the first to kind of reset everything, understand what they have to attack, and then go get them.
Got to get out of the top half first. 4 consecutive singles for the Rogues. Orlando Covarrubias due up next. Takes the first one outside for ball 1. Alley on third, Casagrande on first with just 1 out. Martinez and Savateri in double play depth for Healdsburg. Payne's 1-0 offering. Low and away once more.
And no doubt Payne's going to be working low in the zone looking for that ground ball. As you were mentioning, middle infielders set in their double play positioning. Packers were really good earlier on in the season at turning double plays.
Runner going from first, trying to break up the double play. Prather not going to throw with the runner on third and a good break by Casagrande, who steals second base.
Great play there by the Rogues. They know that they're up, but they know the Packers have a great offense, so they're going to try and claw for every run they can get earlier on here.
3-0 home, catches the heart for strike 1. And so now with runners on second and third, Martinez and Savateri go back to their traditional depth with 1 gone in the inning. So first base now unoccupied on this 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. 5 consecutive Rogues reached. And with 1 gone, Isaac Hale will bat with the bases loaded.
Yeah, this is where Coach Gomes could go out there and talk to his left-hander and calm him down, but he's going to elect to let him ride it out. Probably a better situation here with 1 out for Payne with bases loaded, as there is a force at every bag. as opposed to runners on second and third with only one down.
So goes back out of the windup and fires a strike to Hill, who's hitting a few ticks under 300, 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. Ladahoff at first, a guard at third, both in, as that one is check swing foul. So Luke Payne ahead 0-2. Got to this point once and then gave up a single with 2 strikes. See what he goes with here on the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. First K of the game for Payne and a big out number 2 in the first.
That's a big strikeout for Payne. No doubt giving him some confidence and a great fastball located up, looking for the swing and miss, and got it. Now he faces a guy who's not very good in the average department, 189, only 3 RBIs on the season.
Yeah, this is Trevor Smith, who elevates the first pitch he sees into shallow left field. In comes Grimmer, back goes Martinez, and it's the left fielder, Blake Grimmer, making the grab to retire the side. But not before the Medford Rogues have 4 singles. They put 2 runs up on the board. Work cut out early for the Pack. We welcome you back here to Rec Park for the bottom of the first inning. Your Prune Packers trailing 2-0 after the top of the first. Let's go ahead and meet the lineup card for the Pack as announced by head coach Joey Gomes. Antonelli Savateri lead things off for the 3rd straight game, followed by Blake Grimmer, Logan Sutter, and JC Agard batting cleanup. Then it's Alex Leopard, Cade Ladahoff, Hideki Prather. The next 3 with Jonathan Kim and Max Martinez rounding out the order for Healdsburg. On the mound for the visitors, the 6'4 right-hander Noah Lowe. 0-0 record on the year, but a 1.58 ERA for the Oregon Institute of Tech representative. So he's pitching with an early 2-0 lead, perhaps a little bit more confidence on the mound going against this hard-hitting Packers squad. Savateri, one of those heavy hitters, hitting .330 with 5 home runs and 30 RBIs.
Now, Savateri really resurged earlier or later on here in the season. He had a very, very big impact on the Packers earlier on in the season, and then towards the latter part, he was kind of retired to look at other guys, and we really didn't see his bat a lot. But recently, He's resurged. He's batting 330. He was down as low as 290, and he's on a hot streak, plain and simple.
Takes the 1-1 outside for ball two. Hugo, like you mentioned, Savateri red hot as of late. He has 5 hits in this series and 7 RBIs. 4 of those hits and all of those RBIs coming in game 1 of this series. And he's looking to lead things off in the right way here in the bottom of the first. Takes a close pitch, ruled a ball near the bottom of the strike zone.
He's got a lot of discipline. Pack really preach that. Coach Gomes, Coach Shoup, when they're hitting, all of it is centered around discipline.
See how aggressive he is on the 3-1, and no real threat to swing as that one was well inside for a leadoff walk for Savateri.
And this is something the Packers have been able to do all league year. I mean, in every league game, they've played pitchers that are the best on their respective teams, don't let up a lot of runs, or in some cases, haven't let up any runs, and the Packers completely dismantle them. They'll walk in with an ERA around 1, and they'll walk out with an ERA around 3 or 4. So wouldn't be shocked if it's the same case tonight.
Calling your shot early, Hugo, after the leadoff walk. I love it. And it takes us to Blake Grimmer, who's underneath the first pitch, and he fouls it backwards.
Grimmer's another guy that for about a week the Packers didn't utilize. I think he was dealing with some injury issues, but not sure about that. I mean, he's been incredible. 4 homers, 18 RBIs, 371 batting average, and you can't ask for anything more.
0-1 pitch from Loeb is upstairs at a tall left-hander. Grimmer came in late from Tennessee, so maybe that's one of the reasons why he struggled to find his way into the lineup card in the beginning half of this season, with Coach Gomes already having seen other guys play well out in left field. But Grimmer has earned his role near the top of this lineup card.
And I'd say the next 4 or 5 guys, you could call this a pretty much the home run alley. Grimmer, Sutter, Agard, and Leopard, and Lanahoff. All these 5 guys, you can't give them easy pitches. They are going to take anything they can get and crush it.
It's Murderer's Row here in Healdsburg, and Savateri gets picked off, caught in a pickle. Ortiz over to his man, Rutiliana, who applies the tag, and that's an unfortunate out, number 1.
No doubt Coach Shoup and Coach Gomes are not going to be happy about that. Packers have not had issues with base running, but that is one of the, I believe it's second or third time that Savateri's gotten himself into a situation like that. He's been picked off. That's something they definitely work on.
1-2, swing and a miss. Grimmer down on strikes. So in the span of 1 pitch, Noah Lowe gets 2 outs, and the bases are empty. Logan Sutter DHing for the 3rd game of this series after we saw him at 3rd base the first 2. Sutter, a big 3-run towering home run in the first inning yesterday, his 8th of this season. Takes one for a called strike, tough pitch near the outer edge. Average now up to 318 with 28 RBIs for Logan Sutter and the future South Carolina Gamecock.
It was interesting to see Sutter not go in the draft this year, but I think a lot of that was his signability. He's headed to a great program next year, and he had a great year this year.
And he's quickly behind 0-2 after that breaking ball found the heart of the zone. And now a 2-strike approach for the hard-hitting Logan Sutter. Lowe's ready. His 0-2 pitch fouled the other way. A screaming fly ball down the first baseline. Noah Lowe, a deep breath, and fires another 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Logan Sutter chases the high heater. And Lowe, 2 Ks in the first inning, puts up a donut, and the Packers throw trail by 2 entering the second. It's the 9-hole shortstop, Frankie Rutuliano, ready to lead off the top of the second inning with his squad on top 2-0. Luke Payne ready for his second inning of work. Had the bases loaded with one out and did not allow any more runs to score. And we'll see if he can continue that little wave of momentum into the second here, Hugo.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to need some confidence here. He got that strikeout towards the end of the inning. He's rolling off of 2 consecutive outs, but really the confidence is going to be his speed, his stuff, and the fact that, you know what, he is going to a very, very good program, and he's facing a lot of guys that, you know, are in the portal. They're trying to figure it out.
That one foul to the fence behind home. Well, he's come out throwing strikes. Got 2 swings and misses to Rutuliano before that foul ball. So he gave up 4 singles in the first, including a walk as well. But he gets a 4-pitch K to start the inning, and Rutuliano retired on strikes, second punch-out of the game.
That's a big pick-me-up for Payne, excuse me. That is huge for him. Now 3 consecutive outs. He's going to use that to flow for the rest of the inning. And now it's the guy he's hungry. Travis Finney just recently committed to South Dakota State out of Yakima Valley College.
Check swing on the first, and he fouls it to his own dugout. Finney led off the ball game with a pop-up, or really more of a weak line drive to Cade Ladahoff at first.
Speaking of those foul balls off to the right, have you been able to use Jacob? We've only been on a few broadcasts together. Have you been able to use that that thing you were talking about, that phrase that you were talking about earlier on in the year? I remember "murdered to the cemetery" up Oakmont Cemetery, which is just about north of Georgia Park over here.
It's been a call I haven't been able to use. The few lefties that we have with Grimmer and Leopard, they tend to put balls in play. I mean, they're just too good. They don't pull one. The cemetery that he was referring to is about 100 feet foul down the right field line and very far. So if we ever get a foul tank hit by a lefty, I will be sure to throw in that phrase.
That's trademarked by Jacob Van Roekel. No one can use it.
It's a 2-2 count here on Travis Finney. Pitch from Payne. Breaking ball fouled off.
Fun fact, he's from Australia.
I did see that. Melbourne?
Yeah, so when in that first at bat, he popped out to a fellow Australian. That's got to be one of the first times that's ever happened in Packers history.
Well, this one's hit out towards Alex Leopard, the man we just mentioned, and he makes the grab for out number 2. Yeah, probably not too often in the PEL, CCL, whatever you want to call it here, that you get 2 Aussies playing pass.
I mean, I would think it's rugby.
Yeah, they're pitching it back and forth. They're looking for a try. Here's Christopher Ortiz, the man that started off that single train last inning. He was the first of 4 straight singles, and of course came around to score a run. Payne's 0-1. Hit up the middle. Stavateri not going to make it there as it bloops in shallow center. And Ortiz 2 for 2 to start the game.
It's huge for Ortiz. I mean, he can use that. He's in the portal. He can use that to leverage some schools. He just singled back-to-back at-bats against was a Power 5 pitcher, and I consider East Carolina still a very top-tier program in the United States. I don't think they hosted their own regional this year, but they were definitely up there, top 25.
Marion takes ball one up and away. But yeah, Christopher Ortiz, a guy that just watched his baseball program get canceled at Sonoma State. His teammate Garrett Brotto on this program, still looking for a new home come August/September. 1-0 hit hard in the right center field, slicing away from Kim, but Jonathan's over there to make the grab on the run, and the side is retired. More efficient inning there from Luke Payne, who puts a 0 up on the board in the second. To the bottom half we go with the Pack trailing 2-0. JC Agard ready to lead off the bottom of the second inning for the Prune Packers, who trail by a couple runs early in this ball game. Agard hitting 372 on the season with 11 home runs and 30 RBIs. Arguably the best power hitter on the team in summer ball. Looks at ball one, low and away from Noah Lowe. Lowe had a couple swinging strikeouts in the first. We'll see if the Packers can make contact here in the second. Guard fouls that one off. Foul down the first baseline.
Guard, he is a guy that really stood out to me heading into the summer. I got to do a few of his games at San Jose State, and he was not doing well there. I mean, he had great plate discipline. He would take at bats deep, but he wouldn't be able to get on base. And this summer, he's completely turned that around.
He had a couple singles yesterday and a hit by pitch and scored a run in that 10-3 Packer victory. And now 4 games on the year versus the Rogues. The Packer on top 3-1 with a combined run total of 41-16. 2-1 is in the dirt. That series was pretty close when they played up in Medford. But so far here at Rec Park, it's been all Prune Packers the first 2 games. What a different story, perhaps, early in this ballgame. 3-1 pitch. Hit well into right field, but right at Johnny Allen, who's going to have to creep in at the end, but still makes the grab for out number 1 in the second.
You mentioned that opening series. That really showed the resilience, though, of the Rogues. They went down 12-0 early in game 1 and rallied all the way back, scored 7 unanswered. Wasn't enough in the end. They lost that game 12-7, but the following day they came back. They gave it to the Pack, won that game 3-2. It was a nail biter. I remember watching it and just being like, okay, one team's going to score. The other team's going to score. Each team would have runners on third, runner on second, and they wouldn't be able to get a run across until the Rogues did so in the 9th.
First pitch called strike to Alex Leopard. The UC San Diego Triton hitting 284 with the Pack, 4 long balls, 14 RBIs. One of those home runs, a solo shot to lead off the bottom of the 5th yesterday that easily cleared the right center fence.
Yeah, Leopard really opens up on that right side, really trying to like you said, murder a ball to right field.
Does so here. Alley back at the track. Wall looking up, and it's gone. Right on cue, Alex Leopard turns on a pitch and sends it into the bleachers. Packet on the board on the 5th home run of the year for Alex Leopard.
I mean, call that resilience right there. Call that the Pack coming back. That'll start something. Alex Leopard, a veteran leader on this team. He's been with the team for 3 years, a guy who went all the way from Annalee High School to SRJC to now being on UCSD. He is a born and bred Sonoma County player, and when he homers, you can see the whole team loves him. The fans embrace him, and you can hear that with the roar around Rec Park.
Hugo, I think you had something to do with that home run. You know, I'm going to give you credit for it, saying that he has that open stance ready to murder one, and 4 seconds later, he did just that. So, Alex, you owe Hugo a high five after this ball game. Takes us now to Cade Ladahoff. Ladahoff, hottest guy at the plate for the Pack. 13-game hitting streak, with the average sitting above 400.
And he crushes the ball. He leads the team in exit velocity. And he had the hardest hit ball for a while in the summer, and it was a grounder that went about 42 feet.
Was it an out?
It was a foul ball.
A foul ball, wow.
Yeah, foul ball. I think it was hit at around 104, 105 miles an hour. But, I mean, that was completely put to rest by one of, I believe it was the Mudcats players, or one of the Crabs, actually, who had 114-mile-per-hour line drive.
Well, the Crabs, the team that we're going to see next week, or really tomorrow, on the road up in Humboldt. Prune Packers first in the PEL, 16-3. 3. Crabs 14-5. So that's going to be a series to watch for sure. If you can make the trip up to Humboldt, please go support the Pack on the road, because the Crabs are the only team really fighting for that #1 seed in the PEL.
And they could really make this thing interesting. If either team sweeps, that creates an incredibly crucial last week of the season for both teams. The Packers, they face Lincoln twice this week and then Solano twice. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can come out of there with a sweep, they'll have the cushion.
Ladd pulls this one foul down the left field line. And the Mudcats, one of only 3 teams to beat the Pack, surprising when you look at their 4-15 record in conference. So just because you look at the schedule, you see you're playing Solano down the stretch, that does not mean you're guaranteed anything.
They're another hungry team. A lot of Sonoma State guys on that team. A lot of guys that are coming out of junior college, and they're ready to play.
Ladd weaves and misses through to 2-2. Third punch out of the game for Lowe. 2 gone here in the second. So Hideki Prather 2 up, nobody aboard, 2 gone. Prather hitting .295 on the season with 9 RBIs and still hunting his first home run of the year. Takes a close one, ruled a strike over the outer edge. Perfect location on a 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Lowe comes set and deals an 0-1 pitch, fouled the other way by Prather, who goes behind in the count 0-2.
It's going to be interesting to see Prather's two-strike approach here. He's a guy, he doesn't have that power factor, but he's a guy who can be very defensive at the plate.
Gonna need to protect here on the 0-2 pitch. It does so and fouls off a tough pitch down the right field line. That alley runs out of room as it lands near the little DIY bullpen we got in the right field grass for the visitors.
It's a nice little shade over there. You got the really old oak tree. I'm pretty sure that oak tree is older than Healdsburg itself. I mean, this field was built around that oak tree.
That is one thing they have. They do have the shade down the right field line that hard to find here at Rec Park. As you can see, the sun blaring down on this ball game. We'll start to get some shadows near the 7th.
And the foliage, though, is just beautiful here in Healdsburg. Redwoods, oaks, everything.
Prather takes the 1-2, called strike 3 on the top outside corner. Fans here not happy. Noah Lowe, 4 strikeouts through the first 2, but he gives up a solo home run to Alex Leopard, his 5th of the year, and the deficit cut to 1 as we head to the 3rd. Johnny Alley set to lead off the top of the third inning. Medford Rogues lead 2-1 in the early going. Alley singled and was stranded at third base back in the first. The lefty Luke Payne set for his third inning of work. Alley first pitch swinging, flies it out to right field. Alex Leopard with a nice grab on the run for a one pitch, one out start to the third.
And it seems like Payne has been able to settle in. This is likely his last inning after having so many pitches in the first inning, but you know, he's settled in, throwing strikes. He's trusting his stuff, and it's good to see.
Caden Casagrande, due up in the righty batter's box. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike over the inner half.
That would have been a painful bunt if he had kept it with him. Right on the blade. Would have undoubtedly felt that for years.
For years.
A couple innings.
It feels like a lifetime sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when you put up 10 runs in an inning. It can take a while here in Healdsburg. Payne a couple good locations to get ahead 0-2. 2 strikeouts so far in the ball game. And the count now runs to 1-2. Hugo, you say this might be the last inning for Payne, depending on how it goes, based off that first inning. There's no off days coming up for the Pack, so Coach Gomes might be a little bit more inclined to keep him out there if he can and just try to save as many arms as possible. And Payne, a good start here to the third, a swinging strikeout on Casagrande, his third of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned that we might not have a lot of home games left, but there are a lot of away games. 3 games tonight, 3 games this weekend, followed by an away game in Lincoln next weekend, and then we have 4 games here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to finish off the regular season.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle. Who wants it the most and who can survive the end of July? Orlando Covarrubias back up for the second time, and Luke Payne is dealing right now. Since that end of the first where he got a big strikeout and fly out with the bases loaded, he's been a new man on the mound. But this one ripped into center field. 0-2 hit for Covarrubias, the 6th single of the game for the Rogues.
And you were mentioning how crazy this season is getting towards the end of it. But looking at the records here, this weekend is going to be huge. Rogues play the Potters in Lincoln. Crabs host the Packers. Whoever wins those series can end the other team's season. I mean, you look at Potters Rogues. If the Rogues can finally bounce back and get some wins this weekend, they could mathematically eliminate the Potters from playoff contention and pretty much lock in that Crabs Packers thing for the championship. Looking at it though, the Crabs need a sweep to lock in home field advantage for the championship game. It'll be game 1 at the 1 seed and game 3 at the 1 seed, with the middle game being at the home of the 2 seed. So it'll be very interesting to see how this weekend plays out.
Well, let's hope for the Pack that they can take care of business tonight and then hit the road hard with game 1 tomorrow. It'll be a 3-game series Friday through Sunday up in Humboldt, and then a 3-game series Friday through Sunday as well in Lincoln for the Rogues. 0-2 pitch, swing, and a miss. Down goes Isaac Hill. 2 Ks in the inning, 4 for the game for Luke Payne. Another scoreless frame, and the Prune Packers trail 2-1 entering their half of the third. Jacob Van Roekel and Hugo Traverso welcoming you back here on YouTube for the home half of the third inning. Packers trail 2-1. Coming off a one-run second inning thanks to a solo home run by Alex Leopard. The Pack going to try to answer once more and tie this thing up in the third. 8, 9, and 1 coming up, beginning with Jonathan Kim, who's back in the lineup for the Pack.
Little Tokyo Drift for Kim. He is someone who made his name known almost immediately.
That one was arguably murdered towards the cemetery, but I don't think it's far enough.
Yeah, that
A
one
little
was
more pop.
crushed from Kim, much like the leadoff home run he crushed against the Rogues in Game 1 of that series back in Medford. It was a very, very long first at bat. Had me on the edge of my seat, and Kim teed it up.
Rips this one up the middle off the left foot of Lowe, scoots into shallow right field, and Jonathan Kim is going to have himself a leadoff single as we check on Noah Lowe's plant leg.
Yeah, he's hobbling. That's got to hurt. That one was rocketed off the bat of Kim. And, I mean, hey, that's baseball for you. That was a pinball machine right there. Bounced off the pitcher, bounced off the second baseman, and into right field.
We were talking about the hardest exit velos of the season. Hugo, any guesses? I just saw the number via Hit Tracks. What do you think that one was at?
94, I'm going to guess.
That's a little disrespectful. 101.
Oh, my goodness.
And
that is painful.
Noah Lowe is feeling all of that triple-digit heat.
Yeah, well, it's the Michigan kids. Man, you got Kim and Ladahoff just with rocket bats.
Oh, that gets a righty up and tossing in the bullpen for the Rogues. Obviously, if Lowe were to come out with injury, he would have plenty of time to get loose. And Lowe's going to test out that left leg.
Yeah, at least it wasn't his plant leg. He seems okay. It might affect his command, though. On the positive side, it is the third inning for the Rogues instead of it being the first inning, so they don't have to go into panic mode.
2 pitches, and he gives the thumbs up to the home plate umpire. So we're going to resume play here in the bottom of the third inning. Max Martinez coming up to bat with Kim on first after a leadoff single. We've seen the bottom of the order be productive this series so far for the Pack and really all season long. When you have this many D1 talents top to bottom, there's no easy out in the lineup. And Martinez fooled there on the curveball.
Yeah, he swings big. He's a guy who's looking to pull one out on the University Street. He fights very hard, but he can that big swing can really come back to hurt him.
Low comes set. Fires an 0-1 pitch that misses outside with Martinez pulling back the bunt.
He's a fast guy. He was really a standout this year at USC. Freshman, got to play, got some good reps, had an RBI in the super regional or in the regional final, against Oregon State. And he's a quality player.
1-1 is up and in as the Trojan takes ball 2 in the count. Martinez making another appearance in this series. He came in as a pinch hitter for Cade Campbell in the bottom of the 5th yesterday after Campbell was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Over to first goes Lowe. Jonathan Kim slides in safely.
And they're no doubt going to use Martinez a lot more now with Jacob French on the inactive list.
Martinez goes on a 2-1 breaking ball low and outside. Going to be tough for the catcher Casagrande, and no real shot to nab the speedy Jonathan Kim. Well, he picked a great pitch to go on there, Hugo. A curveball low and away in the dirt, and not much Casagrande could have done there.
Yeah, it would have been a tough throwdown to get Kim out. And, I mean, he's already got some speed behind him. He runs very fast and furious around the bases.
Wow, I see a Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Hugo. I understood it completely, and you have my respect for that.
There we go. Was wondering when someone was going to pick up on that.
3-1 to Martinez, nowhere near. And runners will be put on first and second with nobody out in the third.
Yeah, they might want to look to the bullpen soon here. I mean, the way that things have gone the past couple games, these, seemingly slow starting innings that runner on first and second, you getting out, can turn into 5, 6 run innings very quickly. I think the Packers had a 10 run inning.
10
correct?
runs in game one at the bottom of the eighth inning. It took about 35 minutes to get through. It was a long game one, about 3 hours, 10 minutes. Sabateri takes Lowen inside, gets away from Casagrande. Kim the third, Martinez the second. And now a golden chance for Sabateri to tie up the game.
He's had that clutch factor. He was player of the game in back-to-back games, Saturday and Tuesday. So has a chance for 3 in 1 week.
And now we're going to have a mound visit as a representative of the Rogues steps up to the mound along with the rest of the infield. If you missed it just a few moments ago, Noah Lowe was hit on a comebacker off the barrel of Jonathan Kim, clocked in at 101 miles an hour. Said he was good to continue his command errant since. But he's going to stay in to at least face Savateri. Savateri led off the bottom of the first with a walk and then was picked off at first base. Savateri, 30 RBIs on the season, second to just Ladahoff with 34. 1-0 skied into right field. This should be deep enough. We'll see. No, Kim holding up and it actually lands behind Finney ahead of Alley. And an RBI single for Savateri. You could argue, Hugo, that was a duck fart.
Yes, you could. That is, funny enough, a term invented. Well, not invented, but kind of invented off of a video that our owner wanted us to do, and the president of the league, Natalie Norman, she wanted us to do something. I think it was called something to do with ducks, and we misread it for duck fart, and now it is officially a baseball term. So that is officially created here at Recreation Park by the analytics and broadcasting team.
Savateri going on the first pitch, and it gets out of the glove of Casagrande. No throw down to the bag. So Savateri gets the stolen base he was looking for in the first inning. And now once more, the Pack have two in scoring position with nobody out for Blake Grimmer.
Here comes Joey Gomes with the small ball. He knows they need as many runs as they can get against these Rogues.
Grimmer rips one foul down the right field line in front of the Rogues bullpen. Grimmer struck out swinging in the first inning as the first of now 4 strikeouts that Noah Lowe has found. Corner infielders are in. Traditional depth for the middle ones on this 1-1 pitch. Hit up the middle towards Finney at second, and he bobbles it with the backhand. In comes Martinez, Savateri to third, and Grimmer going to reach on the E4.
Yeah, you could tell Lowe was not happy with that one. He clearly disappointed, a mixture of disappointment and annoyance at that one. Finney, guy who recently committed D1, was a star for Yakima Valley College, but can't make that play. That's the Rec Park infield for you.
Yeah, we saw at our intern combine, you get some tricky hops. And Lowe was accepting of the run scoring, but he would have loved an out in exchange. So still nobody out for Logan Sutter. Struck out to end the side in the first. 28 RBIs for the Gamecock. Savateri over at third. 1-0 to the plate, a hanging breaking ball that Sutter was just a bit underneath.
I think that would have broken some bats, but Sutter, resilient throw, he's swinging a bat that a lot of people call the toughest in the game, bomb bat. Funny enough, they use tanks to test out those toughness. They'll run it over with cars and tanks to show the toughness of their bat. So Sutter swinging that one.
Oh, a good guy to represent a tank bat. We've got torpedo bats, and I guess we're inventing bats that are tested by tanks. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, they run him over to test the strength and durability of the bat. A lot of guys on this team actually are swinging ball and bats. Not sponsored, by the way.
2-1 pitch in the air to left field. Isaac Hill giving chase. Marion and Rotuliano the same. And I can't see Hugo. What do we got?
I believe that dropped. If I'm the Rogues there, you're down by one. I'm not even going for that fly ball. The minute that crossed over uh, to near the bullpen in the outfield, you know for a fact Sabateri is a fast runner. He's going to run on that one if you catch it. So tough play. Would have been a tough throw home to get Sabateri. It would have been 4-2 Packers. So probably lucky for them that it dropped, and you have the same situation.
Well, if Lowe can get a strikeout, then certainly a favorable drop by that Bermuda Triangle in left. Well, and he does just that. Lowe, 5th strikeout of the game, 2nd on Sutter, and a big out number 1 in the 3rd.
Yeah, that's Sutter right there. That's a multi-strikeout game, something we saw a lot of earlier on in the season. But Sutter's been able to kind of focus on his discipline with Coach Gomes this summer, and he's driven those strikeout numbers down. He had about 5 heading into last week between opening weekend and last week, so 5 in the month uh, between those two dates. Today and last week, having a little bit of trouble, but we'll see how they change that.
J.C. Agard up for the 2nd time. Took the first pitch downstairs for ball 1. Flew out to right field to lead off the 2nd inning. A similar swing should score Savateri from 3rd if Agard can find the outfield. Over to 1st, and we see Grimmer slide in safely.
They're going to be thinking low here against a guard. They definitely want that ground ball, try and get a double play. No doubt, though, that Coach Gomes is going to send the runner if he gets the opportunity.
1-0 pitch, breaking ball, hit hard foul. Just avoids Savateri and Coach Gomes himself at 3rd.
Yeah, they've both got pretty good feet, good agility there. Coach Gomes prides himself on his sweet feet.
He has just a little bit of baseball experience, doesn't he, Hugo?
Yeah, him and his brother are pretty much household names here in Sonoma County. His brother, of course, Johnny Gomes, who won the 2013 World Series with the Red Sox.
Who has a better beard? Johnny Gomes was rock. You play with the Red Sox, you have to have a good beard. Joey, though, he's got a good one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. I'm going to go. I haven't seen Johnny recently. I would say
Remember who you work
it's
for, Hugo.
still tough. Yeah, I'm gonna say Joey out of who I work for, but both.
Oh, this could be two. Tough backhand play with Giuliano. His only option is going to be the first. RBI ground up for a guard scores. Sabateri in the pack take a 4-2 lead.
Great job there by Rotuliano to not try and force that double play. We've seen other teams try and do that, and it's costed them. That ball could have ended up in right field, and depending on how the right fielder played it, it could have turned into 2 runs there instead of just 1.
So that error by Finney officially comes back to haunt the Rogues with 1 run at least unearned at the moment. Lowe stepped off the mound to look Grimmer back to the bag at 2nd. And here is Alex Leopard. Last inning, killed a home run straightaway right field. That signature open stance in the lefty batter's box. And Grimmer actually going to be thrown over at second base. Rutiliano had to hurry over to snag it. Found the pitcher, though. I want to be a little more focused here on Alex Leopard, a guy that had that home run last inning compared to Grimmer with 2 outs in the inning especially. Finney at 2nd. with his feet in the outfield grass with the hard-hitting lefty up to bat. Rutiliano doing his best to hold off Grimmer at second base. 1-0 pitch catches the bottom of the zone, says the home plate umpire.
Yeah, Grimmer showing off his happy feet, just trying to throw off low on the mound. And it's working so far. Will's been checking back once, twice, sometimes 3 times to hold Grimmer.
Certainly in his peripheral vision, standing essentially right behind him. 2-ball, 1-strike count here on Alex Leopard, who's now up to 5 home runs and 15 RBIs.
Leopard, I mean, like I mentioned, household name, and he actually has a very interesting approach of when he is at second. He takes a very wide lead to start things off and then shuffle steps to where he's basically halfway to third and takes off.
Well, he's had a couple 50-50 ones go against him in this at-bat as that one caught the inside edge. 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 gone here in the home half of the third. Packers 3 runs in this inning, and now they lead it 4-2, despite the Rogues having double the amount of hits, 6-3. Leopard takes outside, and the count runs full. Kate Ladahoff getting loose in the on-deck circle for the Pack.
I would like to see Grimmer take that Leopard approach to stealing third here. Third baseman is a little bit off the bag. Maybe shuffle step a little bit more and see if you can catch low here.
Payoff pitch. Swinging a foul to the fence. Pretty healthy cut there on a 3-2.
Yeah, Leopard, every time he swings the bat, he's so compact that he's just a bomb waiting to explode. And every time he swings at the ball, you might as well turn that ball into a grenade. That thing explodes off his bat, and wherever it ends up, it's hit hard. Same thing with the guy on deck, too.
Another 3-2 home. Hit hard in the right field. Alley giving chase back to his right. This one's going to one hop to the wall. In with ease comes Grimmer over to second base. Alex Leopard on a 2-out RBI double. Pack take a 5-2 lead.
There it is again. Rocketed off the bat of Leopard, put perfectly in the gap there. And that was exceptional from Alex Leopard.
93 off the barrel, and if he was a little more underneath it, it would have been his second long ball of the game.
No doubt our colleague Ryan Moffett is happy about that. He does our player of the game interviews, and he was very happy the first time Alex Leopard got player of the game because Alex Leopard is, in fact, his favorite Packer. So
I'm going to have to double that. Alex Leopard, the only guy following me back on Instagram. So, I mean, I'm going to give my vote to Leopard as well.
if you're a Packer parent out there, have them follow Jacob, JVR Broadcasting.
Thank you, Hugo. Back to you as well. Hugo Sports 360?
Yeah, the Hugo Sports 360 on Instagram. Original account got taken down. It was a weird thing that happened.
People just want to be you, or what's going on?
I know it was some copyright stuff about like a photo I used.
So it was your fault.
It was my fault. Yes. Oh yeah, totally. It was totally my fault. It was. I mean, I did the right thing to put like put it in a graphic, but I guess they copyright struck me for a graphic with the picture.
Too bad, Hugo. I'm sorry. 1-1 pitch. Great jump by Leopard, and he'll still third with ease. And Hugo, man, you are on fire with these calls. Alex Leopard, that big first jump, shuffle, shuffle, and then he's off to the races.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's definitely updated that. I have not seen that. I did not see that last year. Didn't see that a couple years ago. It's definitely something he's worked on. But you know, in his third year with the Packers, hopefully coming back for his fourth next year, he's a guy that is really fun to watch because another Sonoma County product from Annalee. We have a guy in our analytics department who went to Annalee, Blake or Brandon Thomas.
Stone cold reaction to my right by Mr. Thomas.
I don't believe he heard me.
3-1 is chest high for ball 4, and Ladahoff is aboard for the first time in the ball game.
This is where it snowballs. It turns, from a little snowball into a massive massive snowball that's running right down a hill here, like the type of stuff you see on the bottom of snowmen. And I'm sure our Michigan guys can attest to that. And one of our other colleagues, Nico Horning, can attest to that, being from Syracuse. These games can turn into from 2-1, like we saw, to a Packers having runners on first and second, and they've turned it into a 4-run inning.
Well, that error, again, coming back to haunt the Medford Rogues. Blake Grimmer reached on an error by the second baseman, Finney. Since that, 2 runs have scored. We've got a pitching change here at Rec Park. A righty coming into the game. Hugo, tell us a little bit about Axel Holtz.
Yeah, Holtz, he stands 6'3", 215. Folsom Lake College product from Sacramento, California. He's playing for the Rogues this year. Folsom Lake, we've seen some great players come out of there that have played in the PEL, and including the man who's got the headband on heading to South Carolina next year, Logan Sutter. He's a product of Folsom Lake College. Crazy journey to the next level for him. Went to Del Oro, then to Folsom Lake.
Wow.
JUCO product to Purdue, and now to South Carolina. So a crazy career. A lot of ground covered.
I did not know he played at Del Oro. Went from the Golden Eagles at Del Oro to the Eagles at FOC in my hometown. So shout out to Loomis, California.
I was supposed to play a tournament there last year for water polo. Never did come to formulation, but it was. They have a beautiful pool. It looks like there, and I think we're playing up there. We're playing there in Granite Bay this year.
GB.
Yeah,
They got a lot of money up in Granite Bay.
they've got a lot of.
I hope their pool is nice for your sake.
They've got a lot of. I hope so too. They've got a lot of great athletes out there. You got Oak Ridge, Del Oro, Granite Bay. I'm trying to think who else. Oh, Intercom. That's a great high school out in the Sacramento area. Whitney, our own Nia Trinidad, who's doing filmography work for the league. She's a product out of Whitney. Rockland, Logan Webb. I mean, just tons of great athletes coming out of it. Folsom with Ryder Lions. You went to Oak Ridge, did you not?
I did. That's just maybe the best talent we've got from Oak Ridge, I'm sure. Retired college golfer. Definitely not Ryan Anderson, NBA player.
And also some great football players coming out of there. I met some guys at Sacramento State that went to Oak Ridge.
So this is going to be the 9th batter of the inning. Becky Prather struck out looking to end last inning, and now he's looking to keep this inning alive. 2 outs, runners on the corners after the pitching change. So Noah Lowe's afternoon is done after just 2 2/3 innings of work. 4 hits allowed. Currently 5 runs, but only 3 earned. Leopard at third, Ladahoff at first. A 1 elevated to right, slicing foul out of play, and Holtz gets ahead 0-2 on Prather.
Little out of town scoreboard for you. Lincoln leads Solano currently 6-2 in that game. It's got to be a big pick me up for the Potters. They've got to pretty much go undefeated for the rest of the season to book their spot in the championship.
Prather lays off a good action slider for ball 1 in the count. The Potters are going to have their chance. They're going to host the Prune Packers, like we mentioned, in just about a week's time. And they're going to have to take all 3 if they're going to want a chance at the title.
There's going to be a lot of people.
1-2, low and away, gets away from Casa Grande. Here comes Leopard, and he scores standing as no one covered home. Alex Leopard, a steal of third, and breaks home to give the Pack a 6-2 lead.
Nice job there by Leopard. I mean, great awareness for him. And gets his way home. Ladahoff into second on that one. So now with another runner in scoring position for Prather. We'll see how he approaches it.
Count even at 2-2. This one hit up the middle, down for a base hit. Ladahoff around third, coming into home. The throw is high. Ladahoff scores over to second, goes Prather, and he's going to hold up there on a 2-out RBI single to give the Pack a 7-2 lead.
Well, what was originally runners on first and second with an out, with 1 out, snowballed into a 6-run inning. And we are pretty much set for the Packers keeping the status quo on this series, and this would be the Rogues' 9th consecutive loss. They're going to really have to fix that against the Potters. Last year, the Rogues were one of the best teams in the league. They have definitely been one of the best teams on the West Coast this year, but recently, just having a tough run at it.
First offering to Jonathan Kim is inside. Kim led off this inning with a single, stole second, came around to score the first of now 6 runs. Any more Fast and Furious references, or should the fans expect that to be a one-and-done thing?
I think like Cooper Flag, maybe a one-and-done thing.
Wow. 1-0 foul to the fence as our camera holds on strong. The count evens up at a ball and a strike.
It's been stable. That dolly, I was not very confident about it earlier on in this game, but it's held up minus the first pitch of the ball game.
Yeah, that was a tough start. Tough first inning overall with the Pack giving up 2 runs as well. 1-1 pitch, fouled off the other way.
Antonelli Stavateri attempted to catch it, but just spun out of his hand.
Only thing that he hasn't caught in this series. He was so good at second base yesterday.
He's been great defensively. They've put him in center, too, and he's been dominating there.
1-2 to Kim. Fouled off once more. So Kim is a guy that's led off a few games for the Pack. He has that leadoff approach where he's going to see some pitches, fight off some close ones, and just try to poke something through a gap. And if he can do so here, good chance to score a Prather, who stands at second. Another 1-2, swing and a miss. Kim can't connect on that one, and he strikes out swinging to end the inning. 10 batters come up for the Pack. They bring in 6 runs to take a 7-2 lead as we head to the top of the 4th.
And we're back here at Rec Park. Beautiful day in Healdsburg, and it's your ideal summer day. I've been here on days that it gets up to 105 degrees here, but today, just about 30 degrees under that, 75. Nice sunny day. Luke Payne goes into his 4th inning of work here And his first pitch is upstairs for a ball one. He faces Trevor Smith, who popped out to left field in the first. Payne winds and deals. That one is lined down the left field line and into the bullpen of the Packers.
Yeah, so good to see Payne out here for a fourth inning of work. Coach Gomes trusting him after he settled down after that two-run top of the first.
1-1 here. Payne fires, and that's upstairs again. 2-1. We'll see how many batters they give him. Packers run on a pitching schedule, as many summer league teams do. That one upstairs as well. 3-1. Buffet count here to Trevor Smith, batting 189 heading into this game. The 3-1. That one is popped up in foul territory. Osario Agard ranges over, and it will fall onto the concourse over by the Healdsburg Chevrolet tent off to the left side. 3-2 count now. The full count. The pitch outside, and he'll walk.
Some non-competitive pitches there in that at bat. A few missing a bit upstairs, and then that payoff pitch nowhere near the zone as it even got away from Prather. So Payne, not the ideal start to an inning, but that's the first time he's allowed the leadoff man to reach in his ballgame.
That is the first time he has. That is a very, very good stat there. Despite the rough first inning, he got the first guy out by way of a soft line drive to Cade Ladahoff. Now showing bunt and taking a ball there is Frankie Rotiliano. They definitely want him to be in this 9-hole spot to turn the lineup over, batting 396 heading into this game, 19 RBIs. Very solid player. Rotiliano, great resume. Got to see him play a year ago against Santa Clara when he was with Portland. Another ball there. Luke Payne from Tennessee. Now at East Carolina, home of the one and only Gardner Minshew. We'll see if Payne decides to grow out a mustache in honor of him. Are you a Minshew mania man there?
There were times when he was on the Jags or the Raiders that I got behind the madness. You know, it was always fun. You never knew what was coming. 50-yard touchdown or a pick six.
And the mustache with Mike Leach is that one is in there. Swing and a miss. A big swing at that from Rotiliano. I loved watching him at Washington State when he'd play against my dad's alma mater, USC. Played against us once. And that was a fun game. Going into it, my dad and I thought, who is this guy? He transferred from East Carolina. There's no way he's that good. But, you know, Mike Leach has his magic, and they were able to make that a great game. I believe USC won that 38-35, and Luke Payne wins this at bat. Big swing and a big miss there from Rotiliano for the first out of the inning, and that is Payne's fifth strikeout on the game.
Yeah, really good stuff in that sequence. Both having to pay attention to Smith at first, who has 4 steals on the season, so rightfully so, keeping a close eye on Trevor Smith, and then staying focused on the man up to bat with the count running full.
And they'll continue to look over there at Smith, keeping him there at first. Short lead for him. He keeps stutter stepping farther, and he'll go. The pitch outside, throw down from Prather, bounces, skids, not in time. So Smith gets to second on the stolen base. Great jump for him. Casually getting closer and closer to second base with each little inch of a step. Moving like a sloth over there. Very silent. And it gets Payne to come home. He'll take a big lead over at second. Payne Doesn't even want to offer. He'll fire in a called strike to Travis Finney, the Aussie from Melbourne. Yakima Valley College, that's got to be a big culture shock for him going from Australia to Washington. The 1-1, that one's outside, 1.
Yeah, Payton still, when he does miss, it is still up and away. We saw that happen yesterday for one of the Packer relievers, just a consistent up and away miss from a left-hander.
That one outside from Payne. I mean, I feel that Coach Gomes, you were talking about how long this week is for the Packers and how they need to use their pitching very wisely. And Luke Payne, I think that 6-run inning contributed to the fact that he's still out here as he catches that one on the inside corner of the strike zone. 50-50 call there to Finney. And to South Dakota State University next year. Definitely taking some great football when he's there. The 3-2 outside, and he'll walk.
2 walks now in the inning against Luke Payne. And we'll see how long Coach Gomes lets him go. There's been a couple righties getting loose in the bullpen since we started the top half of the 4th.
Yeah, projected for the Packers are Duncan Russell and Michael Cadens. He'll be followed by Luke Schott to close out this game. So 4-pitcher mix for the Packers as opposed to last night, which was 5 pitchers. Pitch is in there for a called strike at the top of the zone. That one across the letters to Ortiz.
Yeah, the 4 relievers we had yesterday combined for 5 innings, 3 hits, and an unearned run to go alongside 6 strikeouts. So some great bullpen work already.
Both runners go. Prather will choose to throw to second. Not in time. So Finney into second under the tag. Over to third, Trevor Smith. Smith got a great jump, a great job by Prather to try and hose down the easier runner. We didn't get as big of a jump.
And what a swing move that was by Finney. Looked like the throw beat him, but he got the left hand up and around to the tag.
The 0-2, this one is hit off to the right and foul. Ortiz singled and scored back in the first and singled in the second. So he is 2 for 2 and the only batter who has consistently beaten out Payne tonight. 0-2 with 1 down. Kicks and fires. This one is lined into left field. It'll get down and run in the gap. It's going to run all the way to the wall. 1 run in, 2 runs in. And cruising into second is Ortiz. 3 for 3 on the day. Gets 2 RBIs. And the Rogues will not go softly into the night. They pull within 3.
Christopher Ortiz is on a mission to find a new home. Sonoma State lets go of the program. Christopher Ortiz trying to find a new place to go in August. And like you said, Luke Payne, a Power 5 pitcher last year at East Carolina, very respectable D1 program. And Christopher Ortiz has had his number with those 3 hits and 2 key RBIs right there.
So Coach Gomes going to head out and talk to his left-hander. We'll see what they choose to do here. Duncan Russell, he is a late join for the Packers. They have added some new pitchers, some new infielders, as we saw with Joe Brown. But the newest pitchers, Duncan Russell and Raul Valdivia, they are known here in Sonoma County. Russell, he went to high school actually in Oakland at Bishop O'Dowd, but he's pitched a couple games against Cardinal Newman. And Raul, he was actually playing in that game and got the chance to face Russell on the batting side for Cardinal Newman. So both pitchers dominant with their stuff. Valdivia heading to Sacramento State University next year, and Russell, he will be a freshman at Cal. So high schooler added to the roster. Runner will go, and that one is in the dirt, kicks away from Prather and into third. Quickly and safely is Chris Ortiz.
make that now 4 stolen bases in the inning, 5 for the game for the Rogues. Talk about West Coast baseball for the program out of Medford.
1-0, and that one is fouled off. The Rogues have dominated earlier on in the season. They've played a lot more games in the pack, 42 at that, on that 26-16 record. They were 26-8 at one point. The 1-1 that is down low, ranked as high as 4th amongst all West Coast teams by YSN365.com, their computer-generated West Coast Summer League rankings. Packers currently sitting at number 1, followed by the Crabs at 2, and the Rogues are as low as number 9 this week. I went in there for a called strike against Jordan Marion, high schooler out of J. Sarah Catholic High School, heading to UCSP next year. The 2-2. Swing, and this one is grounded softly. Sabateri charges. He'll throw on to first, but the Rogues cross another runner. 7-5 now. They cut the deficit 2-2 with 2 down.
That one just hit off the knob of the bat. It was a late break by Ortiz from third, deciding whether to go home or not. Clearly made the right move as Sabateri just not enough time to charge it and even think about coming home. So after 6 runs in the bottom of the third by the Pack, half of that answered here in the fourth.
That's going to be huge for the Rogues, this resilience that they showed, because that one's in there for a called strike against Johnny Alley. Alley batting .327 with 17 RBIs. He grounds this one off to the right. Savateri has it, takes a 2-step beat, throws on to first. 3 up. Not necessarily 3 up, but 3 down for the Pack. 3 runs come across for the Rogues in the top of the fourth. We'll be right back for the bottom of the fourth as the Packers look to respond right here in beautiful wine country. And we're back. Max Martinez will lead things off from coming from the college in South Central LA, University of Southern California. New defensive substitution here for the Rogues. Sammy Rivas checks in at second for Travis Finney. Rivas out of San Joaquin Delta College. He'll be headed as part of a new effort by coach Armin Sidhu. Put in some great work at Los Medanos College in Pittsburgh. That one runs inside. The throw back to the pitcher nearly hits him. Catcher clearly trying for that Buster Posey, Jake Peavy look there, but
Not as successful.
not as successful. But yeah, I mean, Sidhu had did a great job as the manager for Los Medanos, and now he's going to do great things at what is one of the best junior colleges in Northern California for baseball. Delta College consistently uh, great teams coming out of there, great players, great prospects. And the count now 3-0 to Max Martinez. Buffet count for him. The pitch inside. And the count was wrong on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that last check swing was ruled a strike. Scoreboard put it as a ball. So now we got a 3-1 Buffet time.
The pitch. This one is hit hard on the ground, collected by Rutilio, and he throws it on to first for the out. Check that. That was Rutiliano. And now it's the top of the order. Antonelli Savatore will come up out of Texas Tech. Have you ever been to Lubbock, Texas?
Haven't been to Texas in quite some time.
Well, him and Souza, they talk about the stuff that they do in Lubbock. Lubbock, one of the most. That one's fouled off to the left. Their football field is one of the most. Trying to think of the word. It is essentially one of the only football stadiums. It's the farthest away from other FBS football stadiums. It's the second farthest in the nation and first in the mainland contiguous 48 United States. First, obviously, being Hawaii.
So they're the most isolated from.
There we go.
There we
Yes,
go.
most isolated football stadium in the contiguous U.S. states. So think about that. Lubbock, Texas. The closest football stadium is TCU in Dallas. The 1-1 is low.
Hugo, how long would a baseball game have to go until you are out of this great knowledge and facts that you possess?
26 innings?
I'd say that's about right. I'm impressed every time.
Thank you. I pride myself on knowledge. 2-1 is up the middle. Great play there by Rutiliano, and the throw on to first is in time. Great job there. Back-to-back plays by the shortstop.
Yeah, that's one where the fact that he was moving to his left, his momentum carrying him towards first is the reason that he's able to beat out Savatore with the throw, but made it look fundamental. Played it on a nice high hop, set his feet, and crossbody throw right on the money.
And now it'll be Blake Grimmer. 2 down here. Grimmer will look to get something started for the Pack. That first pitch is outside. Great job by Axel Holtz to limit these Packer bats. He's done a great job to keep Medford in the game after their 3-run explosion in the fourth. Swing and a miss. Grimmer confident with that one. And he actually got a piece of that. Grimmer, volunteer orange, decorates his bat and cleats. That one's outside, 2-1. Funny enough, someone made this joke to me earlier on, is watching Grimmer. I mean, we ourselves are a bunch of volunteers. The 2-1, and that one is in there for a called strike. Grimmer, 2-2 now. Our trackman, was that a strike?
One you got to swing at, for sure. We'll call it that.
2-2 with 2 down. Grimmer waits the pitch, swing and a miss. So 3 up, 3 down. Go the Packers. We'll head to the top of the fifth. We'll be right back here at Rec Park. And we're back here, top of the fifth inning. Caden Casagrande, the Idahoan, will lead things off. New pitcher on the mound for the Packers. It is Duncan Russell who will toe the rubber. He recently graduated from Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland. They have produced a good crop of Division I athletes this 2025 class. Deji Ajose, three-star wide receiver, heading to Washington next year. Russell pumps in strike one to Casagrande. Also, Zach Bryan, who's actually graduating in 2026. Not the singer Zach Bryan. Zach Bryan, their kicker. That one's in there for a called strike. His dad actually kicked in the NFL. He is currently slated as the #1 overall kicker in the 2026 class. So a lot of athletic prowess to come out of Bishop O'Dowd, and subtle flex there. I love talking. I know that I love talking about Cardinal Newman, but Newman played them in football last year. Can you guess what the final score was?
69-0.
You're close. This one grounded hard. Max Martinez fielding it incredibly well on a hop on the throw to first in time to retire Casagrande. They actually beat him 56-0. That was a game that it just felt like this year with how good our football team was. Everyone was expecting, all right, this is the week we're going to lose, or this was the week we're going to lose. All right, this is, we got tough opposition, at least in non-league. And then when we got to league, it was another tough slate of games. Finally lost to Marin Catholic, who we avenged that loss in the playoffs, but getting a little bit away from the game. Russell now will face Orlando Covarrubias, who honestly is one of my favorite names in the league. The 1-0. That one is low, skips in the dirt. Little shout out to everyone who knows the film. Do you know the film Four Christmases?
Fort, F-O-R.
No, four Christmases, like the number.
I do not.
All right, it's with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. Takes place in the Bay Area. 2-0 is grounded hard. Off Ladahoff's glove. Throw on to Russell covering first. He's safe. Russell's foot slid off the bag, and Covarrubias beats him out. Well, anyways, on that one, that will go down for a single. Anyways, Four Christmases, the main protagonist, his real name, birth name is Orlando. So that's why Orlando Covarrubias makes me think back to that one. But now it's going to be Isaac Hill. He's trying to bring Medford back to being the kings of the hill here in this game. Home run would tie the ball game up. Russell, though, has been a hard pitcher to hit, sitting low 90s. Hard to believe he recently graduated high school. The 1-0. Swing on and grounded. On to second for one. Through to first in time. And that is the inning. Duncan Russell cruising on the mound in the double play there, and the Packers lead it 7-5. They'll go back to the plate when we come back here at Recreation Park. And we're back. Heartbeat of this lineup coming in to hit here. Sutter will lead things off. He'll be followed by JC Agard, Alex Leopard, and then Cade Ladahoff. Sutter struck out twice tonight, trying to turn his fortune around here in the Berg. Holtz goes into his windup. He fires that one inside. Nice little arm side break on that one. 91-mile-an-hour sinker. The 1-0 now to Sutter. The pitch, and that one is in the dirt. Ball 2. Sutter not looking to earn himself a hat trick. Only has one on the year. That came on opening weekend. Now in the hitter's count, we'll see what he gets, the 2-0. He turns on that one, sends it down the third base line. Finney can't come up with it. Throw on to first, not in time. That was actually Jordan Marion who couldn't come up with it, but the throw over to first is late, and Sutter beats it out. So we'll see how they score that. They will score that in air. And ladies and gentlemen, that base hit that was from Orlando Covarrubias last inning was actually scored an air on Ladahoff. So the ball went in and out of his glove. Thought that one was hit a little hard for it to be called an air, but it is scored an air nevertheless. Here's the pitch. That one is chopped foul. JC Agard trying to keep the line moving for the Packers. They need some insurance runs here.
Yeah, halfway point in this ball game here as we enter the bottom of the 5th, and it's go time now to give Duncan Russell and company some insurance down the stretch.
The 0-1, that one is hit up the middle. Throw to second is offline. It gets into center field. Running into third and held up there is Logan Sutter. JC Agard, oh my goodness. What an errant throw there. Pitcher didn't know who was covering the bag. Oh my goodness. Frankie Rutiliano went to cover the bag and then Holtz. So back-to-back errors to start the inning. That is not ideal.
And the pitcher not doing himself any favors. Normally as a pitcher, before the at-bat, if there's a runner on first, you point at both your middle infielders to see, hey, who's covering the bag if I get one up the middle. And either he didn't do that or he forgot, or someone else forgot to cover the bag.
That one outside Alex Leopard. He is the only Sonoma County native in this lineup. Packers definitely will have a good crop of Sonoma County players next year. Have a good crop this year with Mason Lerma and Tanner Bradley alongside Jake McCoy from Casa Grande High School and Leopard from Annalee. But next year we had a pretty solid, this year, I should say, we had a pretty solid crop of 2025 Division I baseball athletes out of Sonoma County. Josh Janifelli, Danny Mercado, Jack Pizzolo, to name a few. And now we're going to have a mound visit.
Yeah, well, Alex Leopard is coming up. Homered in the second, RBI double in the 3rd inning. And obviously the catcher, Casa Grande, has seen both of those. Axel Holtz is facing Leopard for the first time. So trying to come up with a game plan on a 2-0 count. Hugo, how aggressive are you with runners on the corners and nobody out?
Well, knowing Alex Leopard, he's looking to pull one. And if he gets his pitch, I'd say deposit it in those right field bleachers. He lays off that one. It will be a buffet count for him. But, I mean, right there, I see a fan out there. I believe that is the kid that actually went to St. John's. I saw him earlier, Johnny, JJ, 3-0. That one's inside, and it gets off of his foot. They're not going to call it off his foot, though, so Sutter will score, and the Packers lead it 8-5.
Just sloppy defense. No other way to put it in this inning. 2 errors, and now wild pitch pass ball. Tough to tell what that one should be called, and Coach here for the Rogues not pleased with what he's seen to start this bottom of the fifth frame. First three batters reach without a hit.
I think this is going to be a talk. I haven't seen anyone really warming up there. There's some guys throwing a football around, but don't think anyone is full scale, full arm warming up out there.
So he'll delay this mound visit as long as he can to try to get the arms as loose as possible should they be needed here in the bottom of the fifth inning. For Holtz so far, an inning and a third of work, 2 strikeouts, a walk, and then these 2 errors that have already come around to cost the Rogues a run. And now runners on first and second, nobody out for the man with 6 home runs on the year.
And I mean, he's been crushing them. We talked about it earlier. Cade Ladahoff, very, very good hitter. I believe that's Caleb Randolph who got up, number 45 for the Rogues out of Oregon Tech. He's getting up and getting ready out there. A couple other guys throwing the football around, but he got his glove and motioned over towards the makeshift bullpen down there. That one's outside. 1-0. When Healdsburg High plays football here, that track kind of gives it a feel with the kind of raised hills for the mounds, gives a feel of almost like Colorado, who has that kind of, I don't know what to call it, kind of a ramp or what looks to be like a turn on a NASCAR track out there behind their end zone.
Buffalo? The Buffaloes we're talking?
Yeah,
College?
Colorado. Yeah.
I don't watch too much college football. I'm sorry to the Sanders family that I'm unfamiliar with your game there in Colorado.
Well, I'm talking back when Steven Montez was there, back Pac-12 after dark when USC would go in there and that would be just rocking. Boulder would be incredible out there. Even if they were, 5-5, they would have that place rolling. But they kind of have a bowl, like if I could kind of call it a bowl that ramps up behind their end zone. Interesting. But anyways, buffet count coming to Ladahoff here. Holtz fires, and that one's in there for a called strike. Ladahoff laid off of it, thinking that it was a ball. He motioned over to drop his bat and head to first, but umpire says, stay right here.
Is this hill at Colorado Boulder about what we see at the old Minute Maid Park in Houston? Less of a hill, I hope.
Kind of. It's behind their end zone as that one's low, and Ladahoff will move over. All this talk about buffet is making me hungry. What would you say is your go-to if you're coming from if you're going to a buffet? It's your go-to.
Not a lot of buffets in my experience, but I'm always
Talk breakfast hotel. What are we getting?
I would love honestly just some yogurt and granola when I go to a hotel. I'm not expecting a whole lot. I could go for some sausage patties or links as well. But not a big hotel pancake or waffle guy. For some reason, just not ever feeling it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Is that one's chopped foul from Prather out of Campo Lindo High School, Oakland, California. Campo, he is in Moraga, so he would go under the tunnel and out to Campo Lindo every day, out into the East Bay. Household name in terms of basketball and other sports like water polo and swimming. Great aquatic center there, Soda Aquatics. That one's popped up and foul. It's argued as one of the best high school aquatics facilities in the country.
They argue about that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, they play a lot of NCS games there. The NCS championship is almost always there. Soda Aquatic Center. NorCal championship, though, is always played at University of Pacific.
Stockton.
Yep, beautiful Stockton. The 0-2 with nobody out, bases loaded to Prather. He waits, and he grounds that one to the right. It's a 2-ball. 4, 6, 3. They got the double play. A run will score as the Packers take a 9-5 lead, but a huge double play for the Rogues. Rivas to Retigliano, and then on to Ortiz at first.
Yeah, that double play doesn't quite make up for the 2 errors to start this inning, but certainly helps the case for Holtz and this Rogue squad if they can get out of this with those 2 runs of damage and no RBI there for Prather. despite the run scoring because of the double play.
Now it's going to be Jonathan Kim, and that one is outside. It's always perplexed me with the way that RBIs come into play off of errors and off of double plays, but I like that ruling with the double play in baseball where, if you ground into a double play and a run scores, you shouldn't get an RBI. You'd ground it into a double play. That's punishment enough. That one's fouled off. Max Shoop gets out of the way. What do you think? What do you think about baseball rulings?
I think for sure double play is about the worst thing you can do with the bases loaded, besides maybe striking out. And obviously, you don't get an RBI when you strike out. So double play, no RBI, totally fair. When you reach on an error and someone scores, you didn't really earn that either.
The 1-1 breaking ball at the bottom of the zone, just below it. And now Jonathan Kim trying to bring a member of his Packer family home here. 9-5 Packers looking for some more insurance runs, trying to match that 3-run inning. And that one gets around the catcher. He can't find it. And it was right below him in the squad. Great job there to hold up from Alex Leopard.
Yeah, well, catcher never saw it, but it was basically sitting on home plate. So Leopard would have had to been a crazy man to try to charge home.
And now it's going to be a buffet count for Kim. 3-1 with 2 down. The pitch outside, and Kim walks.
Three walks in an inning for Holtz, and it looks like that's going to be all she wrote as we have motion towards the bullpen. Hugo, we have had now 5 Packers reach in this inning. No hits, 3 walks, and 2 errors, but you take what you can get. And the Rogues right now are just giving up freebies, and the Pack aren't going to deny it.
No, they aren't. We'll see who the Rogues bring in. It is indeed none other than Caleb Randolph out of Central Point, Oregon, standing 6'4", 205, and Oregon Tech. So we'll take a moment and check on Randolph's career stats. But Max Martinez coming up, and he's a guy who has a great walk-up song. A lot of our analytics guys and media members, they really like his Southern Nights walk-up song. Do you have a favorite walk-up song with the Packers?
I'm not gonna lie, you've already brought it up in this live stream, which makes me feel like a little unoriginal. But the Tokyo Drift by Jonathan Kim is just a good one. I feel like it's upbeat enough, but it's not crazy over the top. He picked a good part of the song as well. I'm not sure if they get to pick which part of the song. I would imagine they do, and Kim certainly nailed it.
Yes, indeed. I agree with you. Kim's is incredible, and I'm going to be honest here. You are the first one to actually point out Kim's as your favorite. A lot of people, they've gone with, as I mentioned, Max Martinez's, J.C. Agards, Hideki Prathers, some with Jake McCoy. And, I mean, not many, though, have said Jonathan Kim, but Tokyo Drift, it's a classic. It's a great walk-up song. Brings that, like I mentioned, Fast and Furious uh, feel to it. And, I mean, he's a great player, so he's deserving of that walk-up song.
Somebody, I don't know who it is, has a Kanye song that I like. I don't know who it
Logan
is.
Sutter.
I wanted to say
Can't
Sutter,
tell me
but
nothing.
he just kind of gives me more country vibes, so I didn't think it was him. But no, I do like "Can't Tell Me Nothing" by Kanye. Graduation, great album.
And graduation, you know what date graduation actually came out on?
I'm not even gonna try to guess because I want to sound like a fake fan.
September 11th, 2007. You know what also was created? Well, not created, but technically breathed his first breath of oxygen on September 11th, 2007?
A guy named Hugo Traverso.
Yes. So that is my claim to fame. Graduation was released on my birthday.
How did he know?
I know. How did he know? I mean, the question is, how did I know? How did I know that Kanye was going to release Graduation? So I, chose to exit my mom's womb. Anyways, Randolph and the man Max Martinez. Martinez will look to keep the Packers fighting on. He grounds this one onto first. Ortiz will tag on the bag, and that will be the inning. But the Packers lather it on 9-5. A little bit of Dolly Parton there for the Pack as we head to the top of the sixth. Packers still lead. We'll be right back. And we're back here. Duncan Russell, the high schooler, goes into another inning of work. Funny enough, Russell working with a different glove today, but he had a very flashy pearly white and pink glove the last time he pitched. Well, actually, the first time he pitched, umpire didn't really like it. He had to go with his future teammate Jacob French's glove. So now working with a new glove. Um, I don't exactly know the exact reason on why he did not he wasn't allowed to use the glove. I can only assume it was around the same color as the ball, and that might have thrown off some hitters. But any ideas?
I think you nailed it. I was trying to come up with a reason until you said that, and I was like, that makes perfect sense, Hugo.
Well, anyways, it's a 2-0 count now.
You know, if you can use it to your advantage until you get called out for it, I mean, why not? Why not try to hide the baseball?
This one grounded hard. Ladahoff makes the play. He'll tap on first. One down here as Smith is retired, but I agree with you there. I mean, it was a great looking glove. That glove was beautiful, and we'll see. If he uses it in college, it didn't really affect him in high school, so we'll see.
That last play, though, by Ladahoff, the exact same one he made an error on last inning. So good to see him stay on top of the baseball, hold it in the leather, and then beat the runner to the bag for the first out.
Well, now we're gonna have a change here. Ryan Severns will come in. He fouled that one off out of Fontana, California, at UCSB next year, playing college summer ball with his future teammate Travis Finney, or excuse me, not Travis Finney, Jordan Marion. And this game is being watched on by a future college teammate of his own, Josh Antoselli. This one's popped over to the right. Antonelli Sabateri ranges over, and he'll make the catch. So 2 down quickly here for Russell in the bottom of the sixth, or
Yeah,
the top of the sixth. So now it'll be Samuel Rivas to come in, lead things off at the top of the order. It's in there for a called strike. Rivas has his Delta College helmet donned with a ton of horseshoe stickers. They do the Ohio State thing with the horseshoe stickers. They are the Mustangs out there. Delta College 0-1. Outside of 1-1.
Yeah, first at bat here for Rivas after he came into field in the bottom of the fourth in replace of Travis Finney after Finney made that really costly error that allowed a few runs to score in the bottom half of the third.
Russell turns and fires, and that one's in there for a called strike, 1-2. Delta College, historically great team out of the Big Eight. They've battled the past few years against Santa Rosa Junior College, handed them their first loss of the season this year, and that was a breaking ball in the dirt. Swing and miss. Prather applies the tag, and we are out of the inning. A quick and efficient one from Duncan Russell, building his legend here in Healdsburg. We'll be right back with the bottom of the sixth. Packers hold their 4-run lead. We're back here, bottom of the sixth inning, and it's going to be Antonelli Savatere to lead things off. It'll be the top of the order for the Pack. Savatere, Grimmer, and Sutter. So, very solid team here. Packers keeping up their great crop of talent. And Savatere actually recently transferred from Texas Tech to the University of Houston. So, that was just announced. And another new face coming, Drake DiGiorno, heading to the University of Utah next year from Folsom, California. He's coming to the Pack. They're adding another great infielder. DiGiorno will come in as both, well, Tyler Cox also coming in from the University of Houston, but he is listed as inactive. So is Jacob French. Now, a lot of Texas kids for the Pack. 1-0 is lined deep. Ranging back is Smith, and he will make the catch. Little can of corn out there to start the inning, 1 down.
Yeah, tough break there for Savatere. He's reached a couple times already today. Line drive, but right at Trevor Smith, who only had to move about 4 paces over to his right for out number 1.
And a lot of roster movement here with the Packers. Adding guys left and right. Hunter Hargett announcing recently he's transferring to Santa Clara University. So we'll see him down there in the Silicon Valley next year. A lot of recent movement that the broadcast team we haven't learned about. 1-0 with 1 down. The pitch, Grimmer grounds this one softly up the middle. Play will be made and on to first. Easy play there by Caleb Randolph.
Yeah, not hit particularly hard by Grimmer, so Caleb Randolph had enough time to kind of realize the baseball was coming at him, spin a little into it, and flash a leather for out number 2 as we're picking up the pace here in Healdsburg.
And the Packers, they want to get home. They want to get some sleep before they head to Humboldt. Winds blowing out to left field, a lot more significantly than recent. That one is in there for a called strike as the Rogues broadcaster, Brian would say, right down Broadway. 0-1 with 2 down. The pitch. That one's low, 1-1.
Yeah, Sutter 0 for 3 so far. He reached on that error last inning before scoring the first of 2. He had that home run yesterday, but the bat's still a little cooler than he would have liked compared to the rest of this hot season.
The 1-1 inside, 2-1. So 2-1 coming home to Sutter. Northern California product flares this into right field. It will get down in the gap. It'll touch up against the concrete base of the wall out in right field. The throw in is in time. What a throw! Trevor Smith with a cannon. Sutter, a fast guy himself, gunned down, and will head to the 7th inning. Get a little stretch in. 9-5, Packers lead it. We'll be right back.
Ready for his 3rd inning of work is the right-hander Duncan Russell. 2 innings of relief work so far, 1 strikeout, and the only man that reached base was Orlando Covarrubias on an error by Ladahoff. So dominant performance so far for Russell since replacing Luke Payne in the 5th. Christopher Ortiz ready to lead things off for the visitors in green tops. And the first pitch is in there, strike 1 called with a good off speed over the outer half. Ortiz has not been sat down so far today. 3 for 3 with a double, a couple RBIs, and 2 runs scored as well. And he sent it to all parts of the yard so far. Some bloop singles and then a well-hit double when Duncan Russell has his work cut out here.
Robinson Russell, he can throw the ball. He's been doing a great job here for the Pack through 2 innings of work, now in his 3rd, and didn't expect him to go this far, but maybe limiting Michael Cadence out of Michigan to a few innings.
2-1 pitch was touching the top of the zone, ruled a ball, and now a 3-1 count to Christopher Ortiz, the man on deck, the lefty Jordan Marion. And like I said, once we get to the 7th inning, the shadows come down, but that means the sun does as well as it's blaring up towards the bleachers. And actually a 2-2 count. We got a swing and a miss, strike 3, and Christopher Ortiz retired for the first time in this ballgame.
Back-to-back strikeouts there for Russell. He's doing great, and he's earning the respect from his future teammates at Cal. He's going to show up on campus there in Berkeley, and people will already be talking about him.
Yeah, it must be cool. Graduate high school, and then you play with all these guys, especially like Logan Sutter, person that led the nation in doubles, going into another year at a top D1 program now with the Gamecocks. Like guys that you've been watching on TV in the College World Series, essentially, and now they're on your team. Count to Marion runs to 2-0. Jordan so far in the ball game, 1 for 3, a single, and an RBI ground out. That was in the 4th inning. And that one finds the zone as Russell's going to look to get back into this count with one gone in the top of the 7th. Pack clinging on to a 9-5 advantage as we enter the final stages of this ball game. 2-1 on the ground towards Antonelli Savateri, picks it off the dirt and fires the first in plenty of time for out number 2.
A great job there by Russell facing off against a guy that is used to tough opposition, the Trinity League, St. John Bosco, modern day. That's probably going to be the day for Russell, all things considered.
Yeah, 2 2/3 innings of work so far, and a couple more guys out of the bullpen scheduled to make an appearance. We've got a lefty coming onto the mound when we're back here in just a moment.
The camera is internal, man.
We've got our second lefty on the mound in this ball game for the Prune Packers. It's going to be Michael Quaidance making his 4th appearance of this season for the 6'1 left-hander from Stockton, California, facing fellow lefty Johnny Alley with 2 gone in the top of the 7th. First pitch swinging is Alley, pulls it foul towards his own bullpen. Last time we saw Quaidance was here at home July 11th versus the Red Tails. 4 innings, 3 runs all earned, but he struck out 8, Hugo. 8 in 4 innings.
He was dominant, to say the least. That was a game that he started his first start for the Pack. And the Red Tails, their team that we're talking, a big theme of this summer has been resilience. They're a team that has a lot of resilience. They're new. They're fresh off the block. And, I mean, they played really well to start that game off. Not late in the game, but just to start that game off.
Alley just gets a piece of that one, and he'll stay alive for another pitch. On the year for Quaidance, 1-0 record, 3.85 ERA, 13 strikeouts in 7 innings, and he's ahead 0-2 here on Alley, looking to retire the side on just 4 pitches, and that one misses just below the zone. Final line for Duncan Russell, 2 2/3 innings of work, 2 strikeouts, and that is it. No hits, no walks, no runs. Dominance out of the bullpen for the righty. 1-2 spikes in the dirt as Quaidance has evened up the count at 2-2 on Johnny Alley.
That's got to be a big pick-me-up for the right-hander out of high school. Heading to college next year. He gets the trust from Coach Gomes to send him out there in a PEL game.
2-2. Apparently has just missed the zone, and the count runs full Caden Casagrande taking swings in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch pending, and here it comes. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Nobody's home for the pack. Into center it goes for a 2-out base knock for Johnny Alley's second single of the ball game. That's one, Hugo. Maybe a righty pitcher is more in position to try to snag that, but unfortunate there for Quaidance.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just getting his reps in. He's going to carry it over, hold this lead for the pack, and in the ninth, we're anticipating the Luke shot will come in. So we'll see how they play that.
Casagrande takes upstairs for ball one. The catcher 1 for 3 in the game so far with a stolen base. A two-way player that we saw pitch yesterday.
Well, we've talked about the great players that come out of the college programs that each player on the Packers calls home. But Casagrande himself, not necessarily him as a person, but the name Casagrande High School is a notable name in Sonoma County, producing guys like Spencer Torkelson.
Oh, there we go.
At Casagrande High School. They also produced one of our analytics guys, Emmett Peterson. So they have a great track of baseball. Produced a couple Division One players this year, Brady Lobsher and Danny Mercado.
2-1 check swing. It's in there regardless for strike two. So that high school producing some of the best. Emmett Peterson got to be number one on that list.
Yeah, them and Cardinal Newman really duke it out for the best team in Sonoma County. Funny enough, they're in different leagues though.
2-2 home. Just downstairs. Good take by the catcher, pitcher, infielder, designated hitter, Caden Casagrande. As now the entire field here at Rec Park covered in shadows. The sun just creeping in the distance over the left field foul pole. Payoff pitch with the runner going, swing, and a miss. Punch out from Quaidance on the second batter he sees, and the side is retired. It is stretch time here in Healdsburg with the pack on top, 9-5. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the home half of the 7th inning here at Rec Park. And doing the honors of leading things off will be J.C. Agard, the cleanup man. So far on the day, 0 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Swings at the first pitch, slicing it over to right field. Alley comes charging in full extension, and he holds on to the baseball as the glove collides with the earth.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I've seen a play like that since Hunter Pence played for the Giants. Yeah, put that on Sports Center Top 10. Beautiful. Full extension, full flying squirrel there. And I was going to say, with San Jose State, have you ever been to Excite Ballpark, Jacob?
Never been to the campus in general.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I know you're a golf guy. Across the way from Excite Ballpark is the Spartan Golf Complex. It is beautiful, to say the least. Got the chance to go over there before a San Jose Giants game, and it's a great facility that they've built out there. Beautiful, luscious, green driving ranges. They're incredible.
I don't know how far away from Sonoma County we have to go for you to not know everything about the surrounding area.
I'd say Iraq.
Wow.
But
Iraq?
But even then, did you know that there's a Tennessee water tower in Iraq? In Iraq, there's a Tennessee water tower.
Is it painted orange?
It is painted orange. It's a Rocky Top water tower.
At least I got the color.
As some people would say, Iraqi Top.
No one's saying that.
It was painted by a commander of the U.S. Army.
America.
Yeah.
Well, we're joined with Alex Leopard down on the field if we're still wondering how the Prune Packers baseball game is going. Leopard 2 for 2, a home run, a double, and a walk.
Honestly, at this point in most of the games, we're up 17-3. So.
Yeah, we haven't had to grind out a game like this in some time, especially here at home. We're crossing the 8:15 mark local time, so folks watching back at home, we appreciate you tuning in to the later stage of your Thursday evening. Leopard turns on that one, still was jammed and sails well foul. And we've just got confirmation that if the Pack can hold on for the win, our good buddy Ryan Moffett is going to be talking with the guy up to bat after his 3 RBI performance with a couple extra base hits.
And we'll see if Leopard can add a little bit more to that resume.
Oh, he can add a K here in the bottom of the 7th as there's now 2 gone in the frame. And no more Leopard interview. That's tough. Tough scene.
I mean, I think the stats speak for themselves. Home run to right field, and then a double to right field, and then a walk, and now a strikeout. So not a great ending to his day, but a great day nevertheless. 2 for 3. Can't ask for much more than that.
I mean, you were asking for another home run, Hugo.
I was. I mean, dare I say, I didn't call it this time, so maybe that's why it didn't happen.
Come on, you know you have the magic touch. Just put it into play here. Let's try with Ladahoff.
Weirdly, I did have the magic touch with all of Leopard's at bats this tonight, the double and the home run. Ladahoff, he's got a lot of power. I don't know. Left field seems wide open here, especially the gap between left and center field.
Yeah, wind blowing right towards the scoreboard in deep center field. Ladahoff, couple walks and a strikeout so far today. His 13-game hitting streak on the verge of failure if he can't connect on one here. Sends that one out of play, foul. Hugo, I'm going to test your knowledge, and you might not have the answer for me here. Ladahoff, 13-game hitting streak. What's the longest Prune Packer hitting streak that you know of?
Ladahoff, 13 games. I'm going to be honest here.
Oh.
This is my first summer working with the Pack. I mean, I've covered them before, but Ladahoff, 13 games. I don't.
I got him. I did it. I cracked Hugo.
You did. I mean, yeah. I guess you did.
That is going on the top of my resume.
Yeah, you have cracked the one and only Hugo Traverso.
Oh, let's see if we can get it to 14 games here, Cade. 1-2 pitch. Fouled off once more. He's battling hard, trying to keep his average above the 400 mark. And if you're doing that in the second half of July, I mean, that's got to say a lot about the type of hitter you are.
Yeah, Ladahoff, he's disciplined, crushes the ball. Like I said, that left field gap there, left center.
Wide open.
Yeah,
7-10 split. This one grounded up the middle. It goes off the glove of the pitcher, Randolph. I don't know how you score that one. We got to hope that we get our scores, guys, to make that a single, and I think we are. So there we go, Ladahoff. 14-game hitting streak. If that's let go by Randolph, it's a 4-3 ground out, but I never saw it.
yeah, it's a tough one there for Randolph. So the Packers now have a runner on, but you know, we'll see. The late in game heroics have really happened later on here in the season from the Pack. Haven't seen this for a while, but the 10 runs in the bottom of the eighth, it has to show something. The Packers are going to look to lather it on here, maybe put another layer onto that cake.
Prather trying to lay there on the score. He is so far 1 for 3, singled in the third inning, and then came up with the bases loaded in the fifth and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. One aboard with 2 gone here in the bottom of the seventh inning. 1-0 pitch, fouled off to the on deck circle of the Rogues. So both teams hoping to get through this game really as quick as possible because they're both hitting the road early tomorrow morning. Pack heading up all the way to Humboldt. What do we got, like a 6.5 hour drive to Humboldt?
Not so much, about
Oh,
3.5 hours, maybe
oh.
4, probably 4 with the bus and everything. But I would say around 4 hours.
I guess I've only ever done it from Sacramento, and that's about a 2 hour drive there. So there's the difference. I promise I'm not that bad at math.
Well, yeah, I mean 4 hours. 4 hours is still a long one, and that's going to be a very interesting one to make if I end up going on the road. The championship is up there, and we end up going on the road there.
2-1 catches the outer edge, and the count evens up at 2-2. Prather hunting a multi-hit game here on the 2-2. Takes it up high, and it's a good eye from the catcher. Count runs full, meaning Ladahoff at first will be on the move. Jonathan Kim gets ready in the on-deck circle for Healdsburg. Randolph comes sit on the mound and fires a 3-2. Breaking ball that never spun home, and a 2-out walk here in the seventh. Jonathan Kim's at bat delayed as the catcher, Caden Casagrande, goes out to the mound to chat things over with Caleb Randolph. And that just means we get more Tokyo Drift playing. And the fans are getting a little groove on. Hugo, for better or worse, there's not a camera on you for those dance moves that I just saw. Only my eyes got to witness you move into Tokyo Drift. And, I'm going to say that's a good thing.
Probably. I think I would have given some people a heart attack with the dances I was pulling out.
Randolph deals to Kim. Takes one downstairs for ball one. Mid-80s hitter here from Randolph in his first 2 innings of work. Came in with 2 gone in the 5th and has made it to this moment with 2 gone in the 7th. 1-0 home, in the dirt for ball 2. So should we hold here, Noah Lowe is in line for the loss. It would be his first of the year. Entered the game with a 1.58 ERA. And Hugo, you were on it when you mentioned that people come in here to Rec Park with an ERA ranging from 1 to 2, and they leave with one above 3. He did have 4 unearned runs, so only gave up 3 himself, but still, 3 earned runs and 2 1/3. That is well over a 9 ERA.
And I mean that's a tough one for Lowe. He definitely did not get any help from his defense, but that's been the day here and been the days collectively at Rec Park. This field is definitely a rough one. Coaching staff puts a lot of love into this field, but at the end of the day, they can't maintain it in the off season. And it's up to the city of Healdsburg to keep it going, keep it up, and a lot of events going on here: football, baseball, soccer, and on top of all of that, the FFA parade, Memorial Day parade and fair, which pretty much brings in a lot of people from across Northern California for Future Farmers of America at 4-H. Can wreck this field pretty quickly.
Kim sees a 3-0 count on the board. Look to be taking all the way, and that one crosses home for a strike. Max Martinez stands on deck for the Prune Packers. Kim looking for a pitching and drive here on the 3-1. Chops one up the middle. It's Rivas ranging over. It gets through. Around third and coming home is Ladahoff. He'll score standing as the throw is up the third base line. 2-out RBI single for Jonathan Kim in the Pack for the 3rd straight game up to double-digit runs.
Well, that's got to be a pick-me-up for the Packers. Struggled in Solano on Sunday, and now getting some run help in a 3-game series against the Rogues. I mean, everyone knows they're going to need some runs up in Humboldt. Crabs can score as much as 14, 15 runs, especially at Arcata Ballpark. They're right at home out there by the coast.
First pitch swinging, Max Martinez. Towering fly ball to left center field. Hill and Smith ranging over, and it's a center fielder, Trevor Smith, making the grab to retire to side. But one batter late, Jonathan Kim brings home the 10th run of the game on an RBI single, and the Pack a 5-run lead heading into the top of the 8th. Orlando Covarrubias leading off the top of the 8th inning with the Pack on top 10-5. Got one insurance run in the bottom of the 7th on a Jonathan Kim two-out RBI single. Michael Quedens ready for his first full inning of work. Got the last out of the 7th inning on a swinging strikeout to Caden Casagrande. Lefty on lefty to start the frame, and the first pitch droops in there for strike one.
Yeah, Quaidens will look to hold things over for the Pack.
0-1. Oh, a sword swing by Covarrubias.
Yeah, that was filthy, to say the least, by Quaidens. Luke Shot warming up in the pen. He will presumably come in the 9th for the Pack.
Can I help you? No, just looking. Down goes Covarrubias on a 3-pitch strikeout to start off the 8th.
Yeah, he's not happy with that one. He knew it was a fastball, and he just watched it go right through the zone.
Covarrubias had reached first base 3 times in his first 3 plate appearances. First time he heads back to the dugout. Isaac Hill comes up to bat next, takes the first pitch for a ball just outside the zone. One-zero pitch, high and away for ball 2. Hill, a couple swinging strikeouts and a nice 5-4-3 double play to end the side in the 5th. So he's looking to find a gap here with 1 gone in the 8th. Cuts and misses through that one, and the count goes to 2-1.
That was a deceitful pitch there. Looked like it was going to be squared up by Hill's barrel, but just immediately deceived him there and dodges his barrel. Ducks, dips, dives, dodges, and dives again.
Is that a connections category? New York Times game?
Potentially.
3-ball, 1-strike count on Isaac Hill. Quedens deals, and he gets a swing and a miss
Stung me.
to run the count full. And we've got a bit of a bee problem up here in our DIY booth. We're going to let Hugo deal with that unfortunate situation.
No, it did. It got me. I'm fine. I'm fine. I think I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't think it stung me. I don't know. I gotta be careful because my mom's allergic to bees and I've never been stung by a bee. But outside of that, I think I'm okay. I'm walking. It's fine. It hurts, but not like. I mean, it might have stung me. I don't know. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt that badly.
Well, for the record, Hugo killed the bee. So currently it's a 1-0 lead for Hugo. We'll see if the bee gets some revenge. But Isaac Hill down on strikes and a good start to the 8th for Quedens.
Yeah, I feel bad for the bee. I don't obviously go around looking to kill honeybees, but that was a little weird. Thought it was a mosquito for a time, and then I kind of beat it over its head. Unfortunate.
Tough scene up here at the top of the Rec Park bleachers. Trevor Smith comes up to bat, 2 gone and nobody out. Smith 0 for 2 so far. Walked, stole 2 bases in the 4th, and came around to score.
Yeah, it got me, I think. I can feel. Yeah, it got me.
Well, if we stop hearing the majestic voice of Hugo Traverso, just know he's lying on the floor next to me.
Well, I'm fine. When my mom gets stung by a bee, it definitely it'll affect her a lot. She'll go into shock immediately. So I'm fine. I don't really need. I'm okay.
That's good to hear because
I'll be fine.
you just got to make it through the bottom of the 8th, and then we'll have Nolan Brenner coming on the mic. That'll be a fun moment with me and Nolan for the final frame. And the count runs to 2-2 here on Trevor Smith.
Yeah, well, at least I knew I could. At least I know now that I can. I'm not allergic, and that I can sustain that.
2-2 ripped up the middle for a base knock as it makes its way into Jonathan Kim's glove in center field. 2-out hit, and the inning going to stay alive here in the 8th. Here is Ryan Severns making his second at-bat of the day. Came in as a pinch hitter in the top of the 6th in replace of Frankie Rutuliano. Takes the first pitch right down the heart for strike 1. 0-1 from Quiddens. Low and inside. Nice save there from Prather to hold the runner Smith at first base. This one popped straight up in shallow right center field. Savateri ranges back 10 feet into the grass to make the grab and retire the side. 2 strong frames from Quiddens. Puts another donut up on the board. To the bottom of the 8th we go with a pack on top, 10-5. Here is the new Houston transfer, Antonelli Savateri, leading off the top of the 8th inning. Led off the 6th inning with a line out to straightaway center field, and for today is 1 for 4. So maybe the last chance we'll see the Prune Packer bats at home for some time with their 5-run lead in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, it's funny enough. The next game will be next Thursday. It'll be the second game of a 2-game series with the Lincoln Potters. First game will be in Lincoln. The way that the two teams are running that series to save money on hotels is very interesting and actually kind of been fun to see the home and home series.
Watch out. Savateri just gets out of the way. But yeah, whatever you can do to save money in 2025, I'm here for it. Can be hard to do.
Yeah, I mean that is this is the greatness of summer league baseball is you gotta roll with the punches.
2-0 popped up down the third baseline. Catcher mask off for Casagrande, but he runs out of room as this one lands on top of the grandstands and rolls back down into play.
Good job by Casagrande to stay with that and get over there. Ran by Logan Sutter and made the catch, but obviously rolls off the grandstand into his glove. So Savateri lives to fight another day.
Maybe in banana ball, that's an out.
Yeah, maybe.
Too bad we're not playing that.
Yeah, I believe it. If a fan catches the ball,
It is an out. Savateri not looking to get out here. Line drive center field hits off the wall. He's around first, cruises into second base with a standoff double to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
I mean, all things considered, Great job there by Savateri, but talking about Trevor Smith, that throw-in was incredible. Fired it in with such pace. Savateri is a guy who can extend that into a triple easily, but he doesn't get that chance. This cruises into second. Now you got Blake Grimmer coming up. Could this be the start to a
Uh-oh.
late inning rally for the Packers?
I mean, it's hard to start much better than a frozen rope to center field by your leadoff man who arguably has the best speed on the team now on second. And yeah, you've got the rest of this lineup coming up, starting with the 2-hole Blake Grimmer. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Nice glove side movement there from Caleb Randolph. 2 1/3 innings of work so far. 3 hits, an earned run, a walk, and a strikeout. As it'll look to be a 3-pitcher outing here for the Rogues as they look to save some arms for that Lincoln Potter series that runs tomorrow through Sunday. High chopper over to second base. Rivas throw goes down the first base line. Savateri coming home. He'll score standing. And on the 4th error of the game by the visitors, it brings home the 11th run for the Pack.
Here we go. Here comes the snowball for the Packers. Luke Shaw warming up over there, getting ready to come in this ball game, close things out of Ukiah. He's out of SRJC from Ukiah High School, heading to UNLR next year, University of Nevada, Reno.
Here is Logan Sutter. 1 on, nobody out. And he takes strike 1 called over the outer edge. Sutter so far in the ball game, 1 for 4, singled in the 6th. Takes that one low one away, and the count runs even at a ball and a strike. So the righty Randolph gets the call from Casagrande and toes the rubber with the right boot. 1-1 on the way. Low one outside again. Casagrande keeps it out in front to hold Grimmer at second base. Sutter has been the DH for today's game after playing third in the first 2, so sometimes can be hard to get a little bit of momentum in the field to carry on into the bat. And now he takes another close pitch in there for strike 2 called. The 2-strike approach here at the plate for Logan Sutter. Average hovering right around 310 in summer ball. Swings and misses through that one. A heater right down the middle that Sutter was behind. Clocked in at 87 on the gun. Hugo, I know you said you didn't want to see a trifecta of strikeouts from Sutter, but unfortunately, that's what we just got.
Yeah, that is a tough one there for him. Sutter, no doubt, will bounce back.
Oh, yeah. JC Agard cuts and misses with the first pitch. The off-speed working here for Caleb Randolph.
And I mean, speaking on Sutter, his hot streaks have come like waves. He's clearly in the bottom here, the restful part of the ocean, but eventually that wave will start again. And if the Packers want that wave to start, it's probably best he starts it either this weekend, or waits until the championship series to get hot for the Packers.
Well, they're going to need him certainly for the championship series because Krabs, Potters, whoever it's going to be, tough opponents. You're going to need all 9 guys to be swinging the bat well. 1-1 to a guard. Low one outside. Backhand stop there by Casagrande. So the Rogues might have to wait until their second road series of the season to get into the win column. They played their first 40 games at home up in Medford. And so far in Rec Park, not having the most time on their vacation. Casagrande never saw it. Over to second base goes Grimmer on the wild pitch.
And here we go. The Packers, one out there, just keeping it going. Grimmer over to second. That could kickstart something here.
3-1 count on a guard. Team high 11 home runs. Looking for one pitch in one location. Not that time. In tight, ball 4. Second walk allowed by Randolph in his relief appearance. And it puts 2 men on for Alex Leopard. We're going to have a pinch hitter. Jake McCoy actually comes in. My apologies. Alex Leopard is going to have to settle for a 2-for-3 game with 3 RBIs, including a home run. McCoy pinch hit in game 1 of this series, had a bases clearing triple. First pitch catches the top shelf for strike 1 called on McCoy. Hugo, you feeling any more pinch hit magic here from Jake?
I felt a pinch earlier today, but that was actually last inning. But uh, McCoy is a guy with a lot of power, and he's someone that I also had the chance of watching. He's also a Sonoma County kid, so it's only right if he deposits one across the street and probably into either someone's front yard or even better, their roof.
Yeah, I'll take the roof. I'll even take backyard if we can clear the roof.
That would be incredible. I mean, he's done it. He hit one 420 feet out there onto someone's roof. We'll see if he can do it again.
Might require 425 as the night chills down. Might be a little tough here for Jake McCoy, but he's going to have to get a pitch he can hit first.
2-1 with one down. McCoy. Few of these guys likely faced each other in high school, and one of the guys that is coming in to pitch, Luke Schott from Ukiah, he most likely faced McCoy. Also, Schott, little shout out, Schott's Bakery and Cafe. That's the Schott family place up in Ukiah. Fantastic pastries. Proud sponsor of the Healdsburg Prune Packers. They've supplied us with some cookies. Fun fact also, Luke's sister, I don't know if you know about this, Luke's sister is currently at Santa Clara playing women's basketball. She's entering her freshman year.
Good luck. Go Broncos.
Yeah.
3-1 to Jake McCoy, swinging a chopper foul down the third baseline on what would have been close to ball 4 on the lower edge of the zone. Count runs full, 1 out, 2 men on. Kate Ladahoff stands on deck with his yellow gloves on. A long pause, and out a 3-2 from Randolph. Swing and a miss. Off-speed top shelf fools McCoy, and 2 gone in the 8th.
Tough one there for McCoy. Great job here by Randolph. Keep it going.
So Ladahoff was able to extend his hit streak to 14 with a questionable single in the 7th. We'll see if he can really earn that hit streak here. That single in the 7th was a ground ball up the middle that fooled the pitcher. This time it's snagged by Rivas at second. And that ends the side. So good thing Ladahoff got that single last inning. Pack put on one more insurance run just for funsies. It's an 11-5 game headed to the 9th. Nolan Brenner joining us when we're back. Jacob and Roekel welcoming you all back here to Rec Park for the top of the ninth inning. New pitcher on the mound, the Ukiah native Luke Schott, now going to be representing the Wolfpack of UNR, University of Nevada, Reno. It's going to be his 7th appearance of the season, 3.00 ERA. We last saw him here at home versus the Zephyrs on July 12th. And I'm now joined alongside the one and only Nolan Brenner. Nolan, were you on the call there for that Zephyrs game on the 12th?
I was not, but it was a great game.
Sure was. The Pack, a 12-3 win. It's hard to get much better than that. They're on top 11-5 here. Shot misses just low and away to Samuel Rivas. Rivas batting for the second time after replacing Travis Finney in the 6th inning.
Shot 6 innings on the year. Usually only goes 1 inning, so he'll have 6 appearances and the same amount of number of innings. 3 ERA, like you mentioned. Gave up about 1 hit, 6 hits on the year, so a lot of sixes in his stat line.
Yeah, pretty consistent guy, and we only need him to go 1 inning here and shut the door on the Rogues and complete yet another sweep on the year for the Prune Packers.
Just incredible how this is just a well-oiled machine and just keeps on humming.
2-2, right down the middle. Rivas looking confused at the plate, and a good start for Schott and the Pack here in the ninth.
Great off-speed pitch there to freeze the Rogues batter. Shot off to a great start.
2 outs to play with here for Medford, trailing by 6. Christopher Ortiz due up once more. 3 for 4 in the ball game with 2 runs and a couple RBIs. Check swing on the first. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire on a really nice breaking ball that landed even with home plate.
Has had a great game so far. 3 hits on the day and had an absolute great hit into the left center gap.
Yeah, that scored 2 runs in the 4th inning, scoring both Smith and Finney at the time when he was still in the ball game. 0-2 pitch on the way. Another called strike 3. The breaking ball is just too much to handle for the Rogues, and Ortiz down on strikes for the second time today. Schott entered this game with 7 strikeouts in those 6 innings of work. So averaging about 1 per inning, and he's got 2 here to start the ninth. Rogues down to their final out of this series. It's Jordan Marion batting from the left side. Breaking ball just downstairs for ball 1. Marion 1 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Came into the game hitting over 400. Hard cut there, but can only foul it to the backstop. Marion yesterday reached 4 times, 2 singles, a walk, and a hit by pitch. So he's been one of the few Rogues to have a good series so far.
He's been a tough out for these Packers pitching staff. And I love the way that he battles, especially with 2 strikes, staying alive.
Grounds this one over to Savateri. This should do it. 4-3 put out, and there's the ball game. The Healdsburg Prune Packers complete the sweep over the Medford Rogues, scoring at least 10 runs in all 3 games. And Nolan, that is just what these fans have come to expect here at Rec Park.
Yeah, like you said, they've only dropped 1 game at Rec Park this year, so they've been absolutely incredible.
And that gives them 30 wins on the season in just 33 games. 30-3 to record for Healdsburg, 26-1 at home, as Nolan touched up upon. They improved to 17-3 in the PEL conference, holding that number 1 spot over the Humboldt Crabs by 2 games still at this moment in time. As for the Rogues, the losing streak continues. 9 straight losses. They're down to 26-17, 4-11 in the PEL in their first road series of the season is a 3-0 sweep going the other way for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. They'll look to continue this hot momentum onto the road. They've only played 6 road games this season. They're 4-2 so far. One of those losses came against this Medford Rogues program. They're heading up to Humboldt tomorrow morning, 3-game series, Friday through Sunday. As for the Rogues, they're going to stay here in California, travel a little bit west to take on the Lincoln Potters for a 3-game series, Friday through Sunday. Nolan, one last overall thought of this series for the Packs.
Just great batting for the Packers all throughout this series, highlighted in the 3rd inning where they blew this game open with 6 runs. They're hitting great not only all the time, but especially in situational hitting. Runner on third with less than 2 outs, they're always getting that runner in. They're putting the ball in play, and great things are happening for this team.
Yeah, and when they're a team that combines that situational hitting with so much power, it makes them impossible to beat at times when they have the home runs in play, but also they have the small ball when they need it. And Coach Gomes' squad is just off to a perfect start. Folks, if you want to see some more action from this game, head over to our Instagram page, Prune Packers on Insta, and you will see Ryan Moffett interviewing the player of the game, none other than Alex Leopard. Alex Leopard, 2 for 3 in the ball game, 3 RBIs, a solo home run in the second, a 2 RBI double in the third, and a walk in the 5th inning. So head over to the Insta and you'll see what Alex Leopard and Ryan Moffett have drawn up for you. But once more, here from Rec Park, we're going to see you in 1 week when we're back at home, a little road trip up in Humboldt versus the Crabs, and then over to the Lincoln Potters as well before the Potters come here to Rec Park. I have been Jacob Van Roekel. I've been joined alongside Hugo Traverso, Nolan Brenner, Ryan Moffett, not on the mic today. He was doing some photography, but go see him on the cam for this post-game interview. We're signing out here from Healdsburg. Until we see you next week, go Pack Go.